Now, British street artist Banksy has licensed figurines for sale. What could be less illicit than that? Tattoos have become common. The notion of suits versus rock and roll no longer exists. Everybody is weird, everybody has tats, and everybody has nose piercings and is secretly riding motorcycles on the weekend or doing some odd, deviant art project. Normalness is not valued the way it used to be. The mood at this moment could be considered very anti-1950s. Things have changed in the last decade. There is a current collective sentiment of, I don't give a damn. That is, people enjoy the concept of being considered weird. You can see that reflected in clothing that in recent years has popularized once marginalized genres such as Comic-Con, which by 2015 grew to 167,000 attendees and multiple cities. Perhaps nothing is more telling than the fact that McCall's, a clothing pattern maker one might have once associated with 1950s housewives, is now selling cosplay costumes. Subculture meet Main Street. The standard of disaffection and rejection of institutions is wildly reflected in Donald Trump's popularity. What is more of a proverbial middle finger at institutions than piercings? Normcore is considered a bad word. #DrainTheSwamp became the rallying and defining cry of Trump's voting bloc, the wholesale rejection of the established. What applied in the populist uprising that garnered Trump his 62.9 million votes was a collective outcry to trash whatever was considered establishment. Could we have read the graffiti licenses, tattoos, and piercings all the way to the polls? Can apparel forecast an election? Don't we have pollsters and countless tools that attempt to do this? Consider the upset of the recent American election, the one that pollsters largely failed to predict. On August 29, 2005, a hurricane whipping to 174 miles per hour made landfall in Louisiana. Considered the United States' worst ever natural disaster, Hurricane Katrina flooded over 90% of Mississippi beach towns and 80% of New Orleans, taking with it nearly 2,000 lives across the 7 states impacted and costing $108 billion in damage. What it also did was wipe out crocodile and ostrich farms in Florida and Louisiana. This was a small matter when compared to the lost lives and homes and forever eradicated memories and livelihoods. 12 years later, New Orleans has not fully recovered. For obvious reasons, lost specialty farms were never going to get the attention or concern that other aspects of the storm's impact would. Does it truly matter if one can get an alligator bag when another person doesn't have a home in which to live? Said small matter was the proverbial tree falling in a forest with no one to hear it, especially since it was falling in a forest during a raging wildfire. Yet there was something interesting about it. Unlike other aspects of Katrina's lingering damage, this one can be seen by anyone in any retail store around the world. Before the hurricane, fashion largely divided into real furs and skins and fairly obviously faux pelts and feathers. Snake and other skins, as well as ostrich and peacock feathers, are widely used in soft goods by everyone from Armani to Chanel. After the storm, the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries noted that hurricanes such as Katrina and Rita would affect availability of these materials. Katrina damaged more than $90 million in protected wildlife alone. It was estimated that sea turtle nests along the Alabama coast and at Bon Secours National Wildlife Refuge were destroyed. Trees fell at Noxubee National Wildlife, including all the ones that housed endangered red-cocketed woodpeckers. And approximately half of the Breton National Wildlife Refuge was washed away. What couldn't be completely measured was the impact to unprotected species, such as crocodiles and alligators, and to pelt-producing farms. This wasn't unprecedented. Previous nature events have impacted soft goods. Bird flu has led to